gon' tune in cause it's showtime. Go ahead and call the gang up for the one time. Rap, Phoop, Ryun, got them on the line. And my life's still great, I'm doing just fine. Hands up.
So there's something I would like to ask y'all, because I be in them Twitter/X streets, and the anime new big three folks, the new anime fans of the pandemic, they're like, Demon Slayer is bigger than the big three just off of impact. And Phoop, as the newest anime fan in this group, I actually would like to get your opinion on that. How do you feel?
What are they
Demon
saying?
Slayer's impact. They're saying Demon Slayer is more impactful than the big three.
And the big three is Bleach, One Piece, and
Naruto.
Depends on how you ask.
Are they just saying that because of like how well the movie is doing in theaters?
That's what I'm assuming, and the fact that it has attracted a lot of more casual fans who are coming in, and the movie is like top grossing in Japan over Spirited Away and other movies.
If you were to, I guess, go into Antoine's thing, I guess it depends on who you ask, because I am a newer anime fan, but I guess because I know you, who's been exposed to anime for so long, and Antoine's been watching anime longer than me, because I've been in the circle and I know like the history of like where we started with this whole anime thing to up till now where anime is starting to become more mainstream. I don't feel like that's a fair statement to say, because it's because of the big three and everything that's come before that why Demon Slayer has this quote unquote big impact. The reason why we can get anime movies in theaters and people come out to see it and stuff, because there has been like a build up. There is it's like the community's already been there, but now that it's becoming mainstream, we can do things like this.
Yeah,
I love that answer.
Because if we want to talk impact, I feel like me saying yes, it has impact contradicts the whole conversation we had about Demon Slayer on being carried by animation. Because it's like, what pieces of Demon Slayer is really like hitting y'all in the chest?
Right.
If we want to go back to our conversation about the plot, and we just established that the plot is repetitive, and that we're only clinging to Tanjiro because he's not that typical MC, what other pieces of Demon Slayer are really like slapping y'all in the anime community?
Right. Like other animes are gonna reference this. Other people are gonna be referencing this thing and from Demon Slayer for generations to come. Like a Kamehameha, basically. Something like that. What is the thing that Demon Slayer has, I guess,
I don't know what
the Akira bike slide, which is in everything.
Right. Like, I don't know what the kids are doing in school nowadays, but if they're not doing breathing forms in the middle of the playground at recess, that's not impact. Because even when I didn't know nothing about anime, there were people screaming, trying to go Super Saiyan. I'm trying to do a Kamehameha because I think it look cool. I ain't never seen Dragon Ball, but I like when these
And I ain't gonna lie, the only other thing I seen people practice was the Naruto hand signs, and even then they kind of gave
and when they running with their hand behind the back,
and then the thing
running like Naruto,
But I feel like Demon Slayer ruined. I don't know what the kids doing on the playground, but I also feel like Demon Slayer kind of ruined themselves for having that type of moment when they said that folks can't see them breathing styles for real. I want to bring this up too. I want to bring this up.
I know
the movie proved that them folks cannot see them breathing styles. The movie proved it, because when we were in the hallway where Tamayo's little helper demon was treating Zenitsu, and that demon showed up, and what's his name, Murata, had that water breathing, and it was just a sword swipe. He said water breathing.
He did
a sword swipe.
And yet
no water animation.
Wait, didn't it have like a little bit? Didn't it have like a little stream after it? Like it had a little bit of water.
That was just a sword strike. That was a sword strike. That's it. It wasn't no water.
No,
it wasn't no water though.
I could have seen a little bit of water.
There was no water.
No water. No water, no splash, not even a water gun.
I could have sworn
No.
like a little bit.
No, Ryan, that was just
It's
like the
because he ain't
movement
swing
of
as
the
hard.
sword.
It's because it wasn't he ain't swing
because
as
it's not
hard.
real.
That's all it was.
It's not real.
It
Because
was
it's not real, and they proved it. It's not real. The movie proved it. The movie proved that nobody can see that shit.
And when you
Even if
don't
you
see
forgot
it,
that they said that people can't see that shit, they proved that people cannot see that shit.
I'm gonna just be so honest though. I'm gonna be so freaking honest though. Even if they got rid of them elements, let me tell y'all something. Every breathing style has a this. Whether it's fourth form flame breathing, second form sound breathing, or whatever, everybody gonna do this.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ain't got no colors and some elements behind it, it's gonna get a little boring.
it's very
gonna get a little
underwhelming
boring.
when they up there just striking, and that's it. That's it. If we don't see them colors and flashes
when
and
he
all of
said
that.
water breathing and all I saw was swing, I said, there it go.
Fourth form pinwheel or whatever it was. I could have sworn I saw a little. I could have sworn I saw a little bit of a drizzle.
You was
No, you didn't. You ain't see no drizzle. Ain't nobody make it rain up in there.
You was hallucinating like a motherfucker because I watched it, I saw it, and I said, oh.
So that's how it looks when it's not being carried by animation.
So that's what it looks like in real life. First of all, this what it is for real. You're not a main character. You don't get that. You don't get
You're
that.
not a Hashira
money
or
on animation
MC.
for you.
You're not Tanjiro.
Look, how they be on TikTok now? Clock it. Clock it.
Antoine, what's that thing? You're not a main character, but you know a breathing style.
Look, man.
Yo, I just want to bring that up right quick because I was like, y'all just proved that people can't see their shit for real.
That was so funny to me.
In the movie. In the movie, you just proved that folks can't see that shit for real.
Yeah.
Y'all
But
just swinging
going back
swords.
to the initial question, to me personally, I don't think Demon Slayer has more impact than the big three. I don't think so. As a singular, I don't think it has impact on the anime community as a whole. Because there's so much shit that came before that has brought us to that moment. Like I understand that Mugen Train, like when Mugen Train came out, that was like that started off the domino effect of people putting more anime projects in theaters. It's the reason why we got JJK Zeros, the reason why we're getting Chainsaw Man, why we got this 3-movie trilogy right now.
And then My Hero movie hit the theaters too after that.
Yes, so I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it has an impact on the way that on how we consume anime, but as like a whole, I think there are some things that attributed to why we see Demon Slayer a certain way.
What I think it is that one, it's a lot of people who really want to make like their hot takes, and I feel like they're just unable to articulate that Demon Slayer is one of the easiest animes for casual watchers, whether they are familiar with anime or not, to get into. Not gonna lie, I've seen people who I ain't never seen talk about anime say they went to this movie. But anime is mainstream now, so it's bound to happen. It's just bound to happen. Now, if you call that impact, I mean, it brought money into the anime industry.
Right.
A few people are wearing Tanjiro's little green square patterns on their book bag. I've seen a couple of kids with the little pins in their Crocs.
I got some shorts.
But I will tell you that. But I will tell you this: 20 years ago, Goku book bags, and then their little orange gi outfits, t-shirts were the only things available in box lunch before anime got big. They were the only things available at Hot Topic when all you saw in the back was little punk rock t-shirts before we start seeing anime t-shirts in the back of Hot Topic.
Yeah.
Like there's levels to it. And honestly, to stretch the question, I hope that Demon Slayer doesn't impact the anime industry. Because what does the anime industry look like if Demon Slayer becomes the main example for what to strive for? Peak animation with no plot. and no character development for real, I don't want that to be impactful. I don't want that to be the example.
I would just be curious to see. I think Demon Slayer's true impact will come when we look maybe 5-10 years from now at the anime that is coming out around that time, and seeing if there's elements of Demon Slayer in that. Because I think in some of our anime reviews, we've had I want to harp on something that Ryun talks about a lot. When we get into certain anime reviews, he talks about the Bleach formula and how it's been repeated in multiple anime. Attack on Titan. We talked about the same thing in Kaiju number 8, where you can see
Demon Slayer.
Right, where we can see
JJK.
where we see elements of the big three or animes in the past come to fruition in these new animes. That's where we're going to see some significant impact. That if we 5 to 10 years from now, if we see an anime that pulls elements from Demon Slayer or had a true influence on where this is going, are we gonna watch an anime 5-10 years from now and say, oh, it's doing the Demon Slayer formula?
And honestly, I don't even know what, if we be honest, like what is Demon Slayer's formula that isn't pulling strong influence from, say, Bleach and the other big three anime.
That's what I'm saying.
Outside of my sister's a demon and I'm trying to protect her, I mean, I'm pretty sure you can go watch some random underground anime on Crunchyroll right now that exists too. But what is the Demon Slayer formula?
Yeah. What's that element that's
you
really
see
gonna
what I'm
set them
saying? Like,
apart?
I hope. Exactly. And I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, let me gatekeep anime. I love when we get new anime fans. I love seeing people come into this industry because now that gives me more stuff to buy. But like, y'all got a little bit too much dip on your chip. Demon Slayer is very financially successful.
I think to say it's bigger than the big three is a stretch, is a reach. But to say that Demon Slayer has an impact on the way that we consume anime as a whole, I would give you a piece of that, because of just how much money this movie has made in the box office. The fact that we could even fathom sitting for 2 hours and 35 minutes watching an anime movie like we do anything else.
The fact that Chainsaw Man, albeit a very successful one, only had one season, and their next arc is going to be a movie in theaters.
I mean, it's the same. It was the same thing with JJK. JJK had one season and went straight into JJK 0.
And that's what I'm saying. If we want to talk about Demon Slayer's impact, it's on the financials at ROI when it comes to how these publishers are finna release this stuff. The second anime gets big now in the West, as well as Japan and the EU and Europe, we're going to get movies.
And that's what I'm saying.
Movies at that.
And that's what I'm saying. It's impacting the way we consume these new franchises. That the formula, maybe the Demon Slayer formula is just how new anime gets released. The formula is we're going to give you a season, give you a movie, give you a couple more seasons, give you another movie. Hey, we might end the season with a couple movies. And that's the formula. Not the plot itself, not the power scaling, not the characters, not any of the elements that make it what it is, but how it's being presented to the masses.
At least if it can get as big as Demon Slayer, JJK, and My Hero, for sure. Or rather, Attack on Titan and them too.
So
I could see it being big, like a big three for a newer generation. If you want to say
impact on that end,
even people can make those conversations like what is like the top 3 anime and manga pulling at this time, but it's like the big 3 title that was given to Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece wasn't just on sales nor popularity. It was also just the fact that they were the faces of Shonen Jump magazine in Japan, and I think the direct translation was like the Golden 3. Big 3 for anime fans pre 2020 was not a phrase that people was actually using. Like, people just knew that they loved Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece, and they was also watching Seven Deadly Sins and Tokyo Ghoul and Parasite the Maxim after, and Soul Eater. That's it. like a lot of these terminologies and phrases and rhetoric is something that got big because it's like, well, the anime community got big and we want to talk about who's the best and who to give our flowers to and what to recommend to any new fans. And I get it. If you want to just highlight Demon Slayer, sure, but like the big three term, you don't really need that. Because there's no replacing the original big three. They will forever be the original three faces of Shonen Jump post Dragon Ball era.
And my thing is it's what are we getting out of that? What are we getting out of steady trying to dethrone the big three?
Right.
Mm-hmm. You that's the funny thing. You get what is it called? Engagement on Twitter and YouTube, which is financially beneficial for some people. But outside of that, nothing, because Kishimoto and Tite Kubo and Oda, they got their money. Oda's still working. Oh, you telling him that, oh my gosh, One Piece is getting overthrown by Demon Slayer, don't do nothing. He's still making money off One Piece.
Yeah.
Hell, I pray that the mangaka for Demon Slayer, I pray that they give us her money this time around.
I wonder if it's just that because anime is becoming mainstream and people haven't been there since the beginning, I wonder if it's like because we feel behind. Like I've come into anime in 2020 where everybody was getting into it, and I didn't come in and I didn't come in watching Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. So I'm going to make myself feel better or make myself feel important and say that these are my big three because this is where I came in at the time.
Honestly, I could see that being a lot of people's thoughts, even subconsciously. But I mean, that's any interest or hobby, though. Like, Phoop, you read comics way before MCU got big. Back when Batman, before even Christian Bale became the Dark Knight wearer of the mask, the Caped Crusader. Imagine if comic book fans said, Batman, he ain't no top tier comic book character. That dude's like bottom tier. He don't even compare to Iron Man. You, as somebody who was familiar with comic books way back then, would tell them, yo, you know that Iron Man comics barely sold anything? Do you know that Batman was one of the few heroes that even got the amount of movies he got? And one, that's DC and Marvel, which is the big two comic book industry, like, trailblazers. Like, what are you even talking about at this point? When it comes to hip-hop, imagine if somebody said, yeah, Tupac and Notorious B.I.G. are fire, but they couldn't hold a candle to Young Boy.
Statements are being said that words are being put together that should not be in the same sentence.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Y'all should never utter Akira, Dragon Ball, Yu Yu Hakusho, Astro Boy. Astro Boy is the reason we got good opening songs to these new anime. You should never put them in the same sentence as Demon Slayer. Never. Unless you're saying you're glad that they walked so that Demon Slayer could run in the movie theaters.
I think it just goes to my point that because anime is becoming more mainstream and that people are coming into a time where they may feel behind because they didn't watch Naruto or they didn't watch Bleach and it's too many episodes of One Piece now that they're rejecting the idea of this being the big three. And like you said, it could just be subconscious. Like, I'm going to make my big three because this is where I am in consuming anime.
Yeah. But at that point, it's like, and I agree with you fully, but it's like at that point, if you want to come into a new space and enjoy this new piece of media, if you want to learn, just be open to learning. Yeah, there's buttholes who like to gatekeep. I ain't one of them. But if you want to come in and learn the history, appreciate where you are, and be okay with that. I haven't watched every anime before 1999. In fact, the mangas that were releasing post 1998, i.e. One Piece and Naruto and them, is pretty much where I started. I wasn't there for the Akira generation and all of that. I had to go back and watch those films. But that's okay. Start where you at and keep pushing. But don't be trying to talk outside your ass and make statements that have no supporting evidence. You just talking to get engagement.
Yeah. I think at the core of this, because I'm thinking about it a little more, because we talked about financials, and I think it's just the same thing with music, that we're so focused on numbers that we're not focused on the substance itself. Because
Yeah.
Demon Slayer, this first movie has been breaking records for an anime movie. And we've been looking at the numbers instead of looking at what Demon Slayer is. And because the numbers are so high and it's breaking these records and it's doing all of these things, is that impact. But like we just talked before, what we've been saying this whole time, when you really look at Demon Slayer, when you really open up that manga in the middle, where what impact is Demon Slayer actually having?
Because I'm telling you, that mangakas in Japan is not looking at the mangaka of Demon Slayer and said, "Girl, you did something legendary." If anything, they saying, "Hey, are you getting paid for this?" Because if you go sit down and read that manga, it didn't. Y'all love the animation for this anime. Demon Slayer is the one of the few franchises where, like, I will always say, don't read the manga, watch the anime. It is one of the few franchises I'll say that for. This art style that you see in the anime is not reflective of what's in the manga's art.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I ain't even going to make them type of hot takes. Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece's art style still look better on manga paper than Demon Slayer's art, and that's no shade to the artist. It's just the shading, the shadowing, the art, the lines, the way they depict scenes without a background, especially for Bleach. It's not there, but it got a great anime adaptation, a beautiful one.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I wish Togenunki got that, but I'm gonna save that for when we do our catch up of all the anime we watched this season. To my knowledge, Demon Slayer was the first anime to even break that trend of making movies that were canon. Bleach, the big three, none of them did it. Pokemon didn't do it.
The fairy tale movie's
Like,
not canon.
Fairy tale movies, all the old school shonens that you see behind me that got movies, the Hunter